Finding a place that provides the comforts of home can be difficult for people dealing with cancer. That's especially true when you have to travel far from home for life-saving treatment. Gerald Jeremiah had no idea that a diagnosis of cancer in Connecticut would mean spending months in Memphis, Tennessee.
When I first came to Hope Lodge, that was in July of 2011. And it was really a godsend.
The Jeremiahs traveled to Memphis for his care from Connecticut. We see a large number of patients that visit from Puerto Rico, and we see patients from throughout the state of Tennessee and the surrounding area of states, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Missouri, that have cancer and are going to require a prolonged stay here to receive their care.
Following a liver cancer diagnosis, doctors told Gerald Jeremiah and his wife Ann that he had to have a transplant to survive. Months went by as he remained on a waiting list. He learned that the wait would be much shorter if he traveled hundreds of miles to Memphis. He learned about Hope Lodge before he and his wife arrived in the city.
We found out about Hope Lodge. It was on a television advertisement where they talk about extra birthdays. And I was just sitting there watching, and this was before we left to come to Memphis.
Thanks to the American Cancer Society Harrah's Hope Lodge, Gerald and Ann were able to avoid the tremendous expense of hotel rooms. Hope Lodge offered access to a clean, safe, inviting, and free environment for Gerald throughout the treatment process.
I don't know what would have happened because at that time I just needed to focus on myself and my illness, not other issues, as they would distract our main objective. So my wife and I made a pact that we'd give everything up and just focus on my health.
The American Cancer Society operates Hope Lodges around the country that provide free places to stay for patients and their loved ones, relieving them from a tremendous burden.
Hope Lodge fills a real unmet need in Memphis. We don't really have a place for adult patients who need long-term cancer care to stay here. I think it's nice to know that they have a place to stay where it won't be just financially crippling for them if they have a long-term stay.
Without the generous support of the community, including individual and corporate sponsors, the help and healing at the American Cancer Society Harrah's Hope Lodge would not occur. The Harrah's Foundation got involved early in the building process and stayed involved after the doors opened.
Well, Harrah's employees stay very active supporting the Hope Lodge through an organization internally called Harrah, which is Harrah's employees reaching out. And we approximately spend 100 hours per month here at the lodge, assisting in everything from game nights to assisting with dinner meals.
Comfortable, peaceful surroundings, kitchen facilities, library and computer access, helpful and attentive volunteer staff. There's a true sense of community at the Hope Lodge in Memphis. Guests and their loved ones have the same thing in common, a need for respite from a serious illness.
I mean, I have made a lot of friends, real good friends, that we still communicate with each other today. And that is the value of Hope Lodge. It gives you the support, not just for the patient, but for the caregiver.
I think there's a sense of family and there's a sense of security here, because I remember the first time we came here in 2011, I honestly didn't know what to expect, and I was nervous about coming to the facility and thought, oh good God, where is it going to be and what's it going to be like, and you know, are we putting ourselves in a place that we shouldn't, and is this a good idea? So there were a lot of, you know, like, ooh, what are we getting into? But after we came here, it just and became part of the Hope Lodge family. It's just unbelievable. It really is.
One of Gerald Jeremiah's transplant surgeons sees the Hope Lodge as part of the treatment program, allowing people to focus on healing instead of worrying where they go after leaving the hospital.
I think it helps in two ways. For the Jeremiahs in particular, Gerald had a prolonged hospital stay, so for him, knowing that Ann was coming to a safe environment where she had developed a community and a family, gave him peace of mind to help with his recovery. But also, when he was not in the hospital, he knew he was coming to a safe and community environment to help with his recovery when he was outside of the hospital.
The American Cancer Society Harrah's Hope Lodge is in the heart of the Memphis Medical Center, close to hospitals and the University of Tennessee Health Sciences Center. It's also close to historic Memphis landmarks, and it's become a landmark of its own, a place where Memphis companies can reach out and help people.
There's so many wonderful organizations to participate in, but I think the Harrah's Hope Lodge is such a wonderful one. I think it's unique in some respects. We're in a community that has wonderful health care, a lot of charitable givings, but this one's unique in terms of adult care.
Volunteers play a big role at the Hope Lodge. They work at the front desk, greeting and helping the guests. They also drive patients to and from their medical appointments. But Hope Lodge volunteers do more than work. They also become friends and a support to people they interact with every day.
Cancer is a lonely disease. Nobody, if you've never been touched by it, and as you develop handicaps, you know, it's harder to fit into the mainstream. And here, it's like going to grandma's on Sunday afternoon. So I would have to say that, that it's a haven.
Cancer can be a lonely disease, but because of the American Cancer Society Harrah's Hope Lodge, it wasn't for Gerald Jeremiah. He was the first liver transplant patient to stay at the lodge. Because of the common purpose he and his wife shared with others going through a similar experience, it became a shared experience.
I would also tell others that this is what they should come to, because it's going to help them emotionally and intellectually, the entire experience, because of the support that exists automatically in this family.
The American Cancer Society Harrah's Hope Lodge, helping adults and their loved ones deal with cancer, providing them what can become a home away from home.